Alright, good evening everybody. Today is June 27th, 2020, Saturday evening, getting close to about 10 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time. Doing the filming for part 2 of, I should say the second segment of our part 4 series for Back to Basics. In the first section, we talked about the Kundalini energy and the chakras, basically. And now we're going to be talking about actually doing the meditation and how we're going to do that using a very eclectic method. We're going to be doing using mantras here. I will make suggestions to other variations, such as using musical notes or stones, crystals, stuff like that. All those you could go ahead and research in your spare time. Right now we're just gonna, but we're primarily focusing on just using mantras at this point. Before we do get into the video, we're gonna go ahead and thank you, of course, for stopping by the channel. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you did. That little bell icon right here on the right below the right-hand portion of the screen here. Click on that, and you will be notified anytime I put out any new content to my channel. Of course, if you do enjoy this video, I encourage you to like it and give me a thumbs up. And I do encourage you to also share this video with other people. You never know who can benefit from the information. One of the reasons why I started doing these back to basic videos is I was not only on my channel, but I started noticing on other places. A lot of people are coming in. We got a lot of new practitioners. They're not certain where to start. They want to be able to start. They want to start doing something. They're reading. They're getting a lot of information, but they're not certain how to begin. And again, one of the reasons why I started doing this was to just start introducing people, newcomers, to a lot of basic work as far as working with energies, energy manipulation, controlling breath, and different types of things. And hopefully this is benefiting a lot of people, and at least that's my goal for it. Alright, and I do apologize if I'm stammering a lot or I talk too fast. It's probably because I've had a little too much Monster Java here, so just kind of bear with me. Regarding opening chakras and using mantras here, before we jump into this video, legal disclaimer here regarding the subject matter of health magic and personal healing magic. Of course, consider all information herein to be for information purposes and speculative and not professional advice. Use at your own risk. I, the author of this video, am not responsible for the consequences of your actions. The information is never intended to replace or substitute for psychological or medical advice from any professional medical practitioner. This information is provided on the understanding that you will use it in accordance with the laws of your country. We'll just adjust my mic there really quick. Really quick, folks, that when we first begin our practice, you may or may not experience sensations or feelings when you're doing this Kundalini meditation. Okay, everyone's going to be a little bit different. Just understand that once you do achieve success with transforming the serpent energy, that sensations may or may not last very long. Okay. As you progress through these exercises and you transform more sexual energy into higher spiritual energy, the period of these sensations, are more than likely to grow, and you'll have greater insights and greater awareness as you progress. Now, Kundalini meditation isn't meant to be performed on a daily basis, people. You don't need to be doing this every day. In fact, I recommend that you don't do it every day. Look for, I would say, like once every 10 to 14 days is probably sufficient, especially if you're a beginner. And I'll tell you from my personal experience, I've talked about this a little bit before, that I've done some alternative medicine classes, and one weekend I'd come back from a yoga retreat weekend with this particular alternative medicine that I practice, and I was practicing our Kundalini meditation. We have a couple higher meditations we practice. Meditation on the soul, the Ahada Dhyan, the Kundalini meditation, and a couple other ones. And then we have a couple basic meditations. Anyways, I'm practicing this, and I think in the first week I probably did my Kundalini meditation like 4 times. It was like I did it a lot, and at the time I didn't know. Nobody had told me anything different, and I started experiencing a lot of like allergies, particularly on my forearms. Like my forearms were red and they were very, very itchy all the time. And after the first week of doing this, and I went back to my instructors and I said, I'm having this problem. And I showed it to them. I showed them my forearms, and they said, "Well, how often are you doing your meditations? What meditations are you doing, and how often have you done them?" And I mentioned, I did Kundalini meditation 4 times last week. And they said, "Well, don't do it that much. So at most, if you really want to go once a week, like once every 7 days, that's fine. But once every 10 days is sufficient. You probably don't have to do it even like twice a month, depending on, like once every 14 days." And I found out that, that was part of the reason for like my skin allergies was I was just pulling in like a lot, just drawing up a lot of Kundalini energy, too much too soon, basically. And basically I just kind of held off a little bit, cut back on the meditation, took a couple salt bath showers, got like some salt paste. I mixed water with some salt and scrubbed it on my arms and my body. Took care of it pretty quickly, and then I didn't have any more problems after that. But try not to go overboard on the meditation. All right. So if you basically just do the meditation as described below, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. If you do have an imbalance from something, particularly if it's your first time or your second time doing the meditation, give it a little bit of time. Once the energy cycles through your body and your body gets rid of the extra energy, it should go away with time. You can check with the medical doctor on that. Most medical doctors will probably just tell you, "Oh, it's an allergy," or whatever, give you Benadryl. I don't want to, speculate anything, medical wise on that, but just give it time to kind of balance itself out if you experience any type of situation, any type of problem. Another option might be is to get some stones. A lot of people do balance their chakras using different stones and crystals for each chakra. I do recommend that you do your research on this because your tradition may vary based on what stones to use for each chakra. Typically, though, the crown chakra, the amethyst stone is used for the crown chakra. Um, the carnelian stone is used for the basic chakra or the root chakra. Jade is generally used for the solar plexus. Green aventurine for the heart. Lapis lazuli for the throat. Clear crystal for the third eye. And I'm sorry, red jasper for the root chakra and carnelian for the sex chakra. Basically, just acquire like each of these crystals, and you would make sure you cleanse them first, and then you consecrate them. And typically, all you do is you would place the corresponding stone onto that particular chakra, and then just direct the stone at that point to remove the excess energy and to go ahead and cleanse the chakra and balance it out at that point. Your other method, or the second method I do recommend, that I would recommend, is malachite. And malachite, again, it's a stone. But the difference between malachite and this and the first suggestion is that malachite is an all-around general stone for all chakras. So if you could get like a couple things of malachite, again, cleanse them and consecrate them, and then basically, you're going to put them on that, on the particular chakra that's imbalanced, and then direct your energy, or direct the stone to cleanse that particular chakra. You could go ahead and do that as well, because you might not find certain stones available to you, or some stones might be a little more expensive. This piece of malachite, I think, ran me about $7. I mean, it's pretty big. It's about quarter size, so it's not too bad. Right. All right. So, as a quick mention regarding Kundalini energy and serpent energy at this point, we often relate Lilith with serpent energy. Okay, particularly in the left-hand path when it comes to magic. Lilith is the personification of female, of feminine, of the feminine current on the night side, on the tree of the tree of the Qliphoth. Okay, she is the queen of the night and consort to Samael. She is also identified often with Lucifer in rites of draconian magic, and she is often she's the first. She was, I'm sorry, brain fart here. She was first encountered in ancient Mesopotamian lore, and often appears as a naked woman with very prominent breasts and unbound hair, and this symbolizes her untamed sexual force, which is the key to her gnosis, to her key to understanding Lilith. And this is and just kind of sticking with me here, folks, on a little bit of the folklore here. You'll kind of understand why we're talking about Lilith and Kundalini energy. All right. Now, however, in many legends, particularly biblical legends, we often see Lucifer or Satan as a serpent related to depicted in the Garden of Eden, where that they are the force that drives Eve to eat the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. However, in medieval legends, it is Lilith that actually takes the form of the serpent in the Garden of Eden, who tempts Eve to taste the fruit from the tree of knowledge. Okay, she also appears in Jewish literature, and there, of course, Lilith, we know, is the first wife to Adam, and is the mother of demons and abominations of the world. Okay, she's also the Queen of Sheba from the legends of King Solomon, and she is also the devil goddess of the Sabbatic rites of witchcraft, and continues to take on many other forms throughout the world, and other legends, just depending on like what you're reading. In feminist ideology, she is the liberated woman, and in Jungian psychology, she represents the dark unconsciousness part of the self. And to the magical initiate traveling the Qliphothic tree, Lilith appears at each level of the tree and often acts as a guide and initiator on the path of the dragon. So if you're looking to do any type of Qliphothic tree work or travel the Qliphothic tree, Lilith is often is your guide basically on that journey. Like the fire snake that awakens consciousness and liberates it from the bonds of ignorance, Lilith aids to liberate us, and by us we do mean mankind, from the illusions of the flesh and awakens spiritual desire. Okay, her spiritual mysticism is the hunger of transgression and transcendence. Is the hunger for transgression and transcendence, and the desire to overcome our finite nature. Okay. For this reason, she is referred to as the mother of abortions, and she despises the pure instinct of mankind's need for reproduction and the waste of sexual energy for the mere survival of the species. Basically, what she's telling us here is that, mankind, as you and I, typically we see the need to either marry or not necessarily marry, but to procreate, in order to, pass our genes on, or pass our name on, in order to maintain a type of immortality, if you will. But what Lilith wants us to do here is to understand that there's a substitute to that immortality, and Lilith wants to teach us to seek immortality of the self, not through reproduction of the flesh, but through individual spiritual ascent. And so we have, again, Lilith and Lucifer. They're compared to the two snakes that constitute the tantric concept of Kundalini. You have the Ida, which is the feminine force, of course, and Pingala, which is the solar masculine. Okay, as they travel up the sexual center, or the base, or the spine, is through this ascending of the spiritual column that they merge at the top. And merging in ecstasy in the third eye, and in that sense, the center is awakened, a form of higher consciousness at that point. So let's go ahead and get into the meditation at this point. Okay, give me just a moment. I'm going to stop this video and I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back with the video here. As we jump into the meditation here, understand that the mantras, as we say them, These should be vibrated aloud with full concentration so that the whole body vibrates to the rhythm of each mantra. Okay, let your consciousness merge with that sound and let it reach out and awaken every cell of your body as you say the mantra. Okay. Now, if you want to go ahead and grab like a poster or pictures of the chakras, that's fine. If that's going to help you with the visualization process. If you just want to, you just visualize the colors as well of each individual chakra as you go through. But typically, the chakra, when you have the chakra, it's spinning. It's either energizing, like going in one direction, energizing, or it's going in the opposite direction, decongesting. Okay, so it's either taking in energy or it's releasing energy, and obviously, if it gets stuck, then obviously that's where you get your imbalances from. So first, I want you to just take in a couple deep breaths. And then visualize all the chakras located along the spine. Just kind of see each one from the crown chakra, your ajna, your throat, heart, solar plexus, all the way down to the root chakra, and see all these points pulsating with light and associated colors for each of those areas. Okay. So after you've had a couple good deep breaths and relax, okay, we're going to be starting at the root chakra at the base of the spine. Okay, and envision the fiery snake coiled at the root of your spine. Take a couple deep breaths. Allow that energy to energize the serpent force there. And then on your next inhalation, I want you to hold the breath and direct the energy down to the root chakra. Okay, and then visualize the serpent forest waking and beginning to rise up the spine in a spiral motion. Okay, it's going to be going up in a spiral motion. It's not a direct motion. It's going to be spiraling around or coiling around the spine. Okay. And then vibrate the mantra LAM. Envision the root chakra. Okay, it's a color red, bright color red. And it moves up to the next chakra. Continue the meditation and continue to visualize the stream of energy as it reaches the sex chakra. Take a deep breath. Hold it. And direct the energy to the sex chakra. And vibrate the mantra. VAM. Okay, and envision the chakra swirling in a bright orange color. Continue taking a deep breath. And serpent spirals up to the next energy center. Your next inhalation, I want you to hold it and direct the energy to the solar plexus chakra. And then vibrate the mantra, Ram. Okay, this is going to ignite into a bright yellow light, or swirling yellow light. Feel that solar plexus chakra become energized and open, and release that energy, that force. With a deep breath. And then your next inhalation, I want you to hold it and then bring that energy up to your heart chakra. And then take a deep breath. Vibrate the mantra Yam. Okay, and this energy is going to shine as a green swirling light, green light of swirling energy. And follow that energy up. That serpent is continuing to spiral up. At this point, okay, well now we're moving into the throat chakra at that point. Feel the energy in your next inhalation. Vibrate the mantra Ham to activate that throat chakra. And this is going to be a swirling blue light in the throat chakra. Okay, now bring that energy up. Inhalation. Hold it. Draw that energy up to the Ajna chakra. The third eye. Fill it with that serpent energy. Vibrate the mantra Om. Feel it swirling into indigo colored white light. Allow that serpent force to circulate the third eye for just a moment. Feel it open. And if we're wanting to direct that energy to the hidden chakras, At this point, we can do that. We're not really doing it at this point, though, in this particular meditation. But again, those would be on the back of the throat or the uvula, above the upper soft palate in the mouth, and then right above the Ajna chakra. Those 3 points would be. Okay, and then we're going to take deep breath, hold it, and then pull that energy up to the crown. We want to get that serpent energy up and out, and that serpent energy is going to evolve into dragon energy, okay, at that point, and then emerges from the body at that point. So take a deep breath, pull it up, and you have that you're going to have a fiery orb of light here. It could be, a lot of people see it as a golden color light or a fiery orb of light at this point. Right above the head. And what you want to do is you want to direct that energy to cascade down, okay, and surrounds you, and feel that energy move from the inside of your body out and flowing up. Think of it like a water fountain, okay? It's kind of like going up and down around you, okay? And it's encompassing you, and it goes down, and then it's going to get drawn. It gets drawn up again through your feet, which then goes through, obviously, the root chakra and everything else. And you want to basically feel that energy force flowing through your body, through your aura, and igniting every cell in your body at this point. And this is basically the manifestation of the dragon force at this point. So you're going from a serpent energy or a serpent force to a dragon force at that point. So it's an alchemical process, okay? So at this point, you can focus on this as long as you want, okay? But that basically ends the meditation at this point. Once you feel like you've circled this energy enough times, you basically just envision that the serpent coils back down to the base of the spine, to the base chakra or the root chakra at that point. Okay? Now, you can obviously use this meditation during any of your practices at this point, anytime you need to build energy or, excuse me, you need a force behind you to empower your ritual at that point. You could, of course, use this meditation for something like that. Doesn't just have to be through transcending or the alchemical process of your sexual energy at that point. Again, I don't recommend you do it on a daily basis. You could, once a week is sufficient. If you want to go ahead and try to do it on a daily basis, that's of course your choice. I'm not going to go ahead and stop you. I just don't recommend it. So now, if you want to do some variations on this, you can. Okay, and there are a couple choices here. I do know people that do the same meditation instead of using mantras. You can go ahead and use musical notes. If you're going to do something like that, the root chakra is associated with a C note, okay? The sex chakra is associated with a D note, and I'm going to have all of this information at the end of the video as well. So if you miss something, don't worry, it's going to be there for you. Solar plexus is E. The heart chakra is associated with F note, and then G for the throat, A for the third eye, and then B note for the crown chakra. You can do that with anything. If you want to go ahead and use like a piano or any other type of musical device or musical instrument, you can go ahead and do that. I know some people that buy singing bowls in order to activate and balance chakras. That's also an option as well. And then there's just other mantras out there as well. Just go ahead and do some research, and you're going to find something. Something may go ahead and click for you, and that'll be great. You might want to use that particular method, as opposed to the mantra method. So just go ahead and do some experimentation and find out what you like, and kind of go from there. It's your magical practice, and you should of course go ahead and practice it in a way that feels consistent and right for you. So with that, folks, I bid you a very fond farewell. I thank you, my brother and sisters, for joining me this evening on this video channel. Peace and farewell. Infernal blessings. Take care. Bye.